Oh, QR code. I'm not gonna scan it. Okay, I know we're a little late to this review, but you can't blame us. We got third world Wi-Fi. But that being said, let's get into it. Dying Light 3. Let's go.
Shrunken head, broken legs, body parts on the concrete. Cut 'em up, butcher style gators in the swamp. Red light, leave 'em dead, running like a trap.
The combat was simplistic but good. It didn't reinvent anything, but it improved on the first game. It was what you expected, hack and slash, which is what you most likely want from a zombie game. There was a normal fast-hitting attacks. You could charge up your attacks to do a big, hard-hitting heavy, but in return it would drain more of your stamina. Pretty standard stuff. The way they improved the combat was probably through the perk card system, where you could swap out and match different perks to make your ideal build. There was also dodging and blocking, which was probably the main implement that they added that worked around the combat, which was a nice feature. If you did a perfect dodge or block, you would get to counter a zombie, which was nice. It felt rewarding and satisfying when you pulled it off. They also brought back Fury from the first game. You could adjust it to your liking with perk cards by making it stronger, but you take more damage, or it lasts longer, but you do less damage. I didn't find myself using Fury that often. I felt like you got it too late into the game. At this point, my weapons and perks were already so strong that I never actually needed to use my Fury. I also had a perk that when my Fury bar was full, it gave me a damage boost, so there was no incentive for me to actually use my Fury. Probably my favorite thing about the combat system were the throwables called curveballs. There was a variety of different ones, like a frag grenade, a bait bomb. There was caustic, water, and fire grenades. These were nice because you could use them to chain your weapons mods into, like if you had an electric one and you threw a water bomb and you hit the zombie, it caused a big area of a taser effect and do more damage, which I liked a lot. You could also throw your weapons, but that sucked.
Me, scared of nobody, what your motherfuckers want. Believe me when I tell 'em I'm a boogeyman beast. Leave 'em slashed from their head to their feet. Pin bricks to the chest of a bitch well fed.
Weapons. Weapons came down to two types, blunt and sharp one, which came in two variants, heavy or light. The sharp weapons consisted of knives, swords, katanas, machetes, pitchforks, pikes, and axes. The blunt weapons consisted of knuckle dusters, pipes, wrenches, bow staffs, hammers, and all could be modified to your liking. The guns were probably my favorite. I felt that they were fairly balanced in terms of damage and the amount of ammo you could carry per gun. They were better than the melee weapons in my opinion. Like if I had ammo for my guns, I would never use my melee weapons. The guns could also be modded whatever way you wanted. My personal favorite was the hunting rifle. When you popped the head with the hunting rifle, it just felt so satisfying, especially when you had the mod where killing a zombie made it explode in the element or ailment you had modded on your weapon. The weapons were divided into tiers of common, uncommon, rare, superior, and legendary. Pretty basic standard stuff. The legendaries were all super overpowered, but I liked them like that. It gave the feel of a power trip fantasy, which was fine in my opinion because you only got them very late in the game or after the story, so it didn't make you super overpowered throughout the whole game. Unfortunately, there were only 8 legendaries in the game, but they all had unique designs, which was nice.
Look at me, cannibal, trying to eat. I got a zombie army, and you can't harm me. Yeah, hoodoo, bitch.
The enemy type. The enemy type consisted of 3 main enemies: walkers, runners, and apexes. The walkers were your generic cannon fodder zombies that you would be fighting most of the time. The runners were the faster versions of the walkers. They could evade your attacks and dive towards you. Apexes were basically just mini bosses. They consisted of 5 types: crushers, screamers, slobbers, butchers, and mutators. The crushers crushed, the screamers screamed, the slobbers slobbed, the mutators mutated, and the butchers turtled like little bitches. All the zombies basically did what their name suggested. Nothing crazy. The zombies also had variants like fire, electric, caustic, and bleed, which were there to force you to have different mods on your weapons. as electric zombies were immune to electric damage, fire zombies immune to fire, caustic immune to caustic, etc. There were also a few outlier zombies like bombers, which exploded whenever you depleted their health bar or knocked them to the ground. There was also swarmers, which were zombies that had a beehive and sent a swarm of bees on you. These were pretty rare and didn't show up that often. There were other outlier zombies like firemen, which were immune to everything for some reason. Wasn't so sure if this was a glitch or not. There was also soldier zombies, which sometimes had grenades strapped to them, and this made for a nice situational kill where you could hit the grenades on them and then drop kick them into a horde of zombies. The enemy type was fine for the most part. The main problem was there wasn't enough. The hordes were very small and the world felt mostly empty. You didn't run into that many zombies at a time, which got really boring later on when you became super powerful and had very strong weapons that had a lot of perks that revolved around chaining your attacks to other zombies. The main disappointment was probably the boss fights. The boss fights were all just reskins of the apexes. They were just the same exact zombies but with different names. They didn't have any unique attacks. This made them very easy to defeat as you knew their movesets already and there were no curveballs ever thrown at you.
Drink blood like a vampire without warning. Hoodoo, bitch. Stand up. Sam B got the thing that go bump in the night. Whoa.
Map. There's not much to say about the map. If you play GTA 5, you probably recognize most of the places of LA, especially the pier and the beach, which was my favorite area. There wasn't much areas, but there were a few. After a while, it felt repetitive. It seemed like the same areas, the sewers, the train station, the hills, and the beach. That pretty much felt like all there was. After a while, you probably get pretty bored of the map. The nice part about the map were probably all the environmental traps. Everywhere, around every corner, there were caustic barrels, electric wires, jerry cans with gasoline or water. This was nice for dealing with zombies, so you could pretty much always use these. They were actually probably more threatening than the zombies. Most of the time, me and my friend Ian, when we died, it was because we were being buffoons trying to get into a room that had a chest that we thought probably had some good shit in it, but then the floor would be electrified or on fire, and we just run in and die. Or there'd be tripwires everywhere, and we'd try and kick them, and then the whole room would fucking blow up. It was amazing. Loved the environmental traps. 10 out of 10. The map was also semi-open world like the first game, but I felt like the first game did it better in terms of the actual setting. LA was a nice setting, but it felt pretty stale and bland. This was probably because of the amount of enemies. There weren't enough zombie hordes, so the map felt pretty empty, and because of the slow movement system where basically all you could do was fast walk down the street, that's pretty much all you did was fast walk down the street. This was probably what the map suffered from the most. I know it's not a parkour game like Dying Light, and the map was designed around you just walking around and like sidestepping and blocking, but it was pretty boring, the map, for the most part.
Sam B got the thing that go bump in the night. Whoa, hoodoo, bitch. Hide your kids, grab your wife.
Now for probably the worst aspect of this game, the story. I don't know like when they started the story, because this game's been in development for a while, and even though it's been in development hell, keep changing studios, I don't know what went wrong with the story. Like, they pretty much followed the formula from the first Dead Island, where you're immune to the virus, the military has basically failed, and now you're working with scientists because you think you can make a cure from your body. Literally the same exact story, but the writing and plot was so god awful. At the start, you end up like with these Hollywood people, and they go off when the zombies come, but you stay back to try and save someone, and you get bitten. And later you find your way to the mansion to the same people you were with at the start of the game. And this is like some famous actress and her friends. And for some reason, they don't kill you when they find out you're bitten, and you just get to be friends with them. And for some other, like, I don't know, 1 in a million chance, this famous actress that you happen to be like run into in her past knew Sam B. So Sam B is back. God knows why, because he serves absolutely no fucking purpose to the plot. And so does the actress and everybody else in the mansion you're with. They serve no purpose to the plot whatsoever. The first half of the game could literally be taken out story wise because it does not fucking matter. After you're done with these stupid people, then you go on your own way, you run into more random people and you help them for some reason, don't know why, you just do. And then you finally find the doctor. And this is where the story actually matters. And then, but on your way to the doctor, you run into these cult people that are also immune to the virus like you. So you think this is going to be the big like meat of the story, is that there are other immune people, but these people like think they like gods, like a cult, some generic boring shit like that. But then nothing happens with that, because then when you find Dr. Newman, he tells you that the that the that the infected people are actually not the like final stage and completely immune to the virus. They like just test subjects at best, and that this virus was not carried over from the first game, even though they exist in the same universe, because Sam B is in here, so it's confirmed that they're in the same universe. He even says that this thing has happened when you run into Sam B for the first time. He says this has happened before and the government covered it up, which is him talking about the first Dead Island. But then this virus is not that same virus. The doctor that says he needs you for the cure is actually the one who created it, and he made his daughter the immune to it, so she's actually the key to saving humanity. And then after you figure out all of this, you try to evacuate Sam B and his that famous woman from the start of the game. I think, I don't know fucking name, none of the character, I can't remember any of the characters' names. They were all fucking worthless and trash. Like the Mexican cleaning lady, she serves no purpose. The guy whose ears get blown up in the like start of the game, you think, oh, he's gonna be something important. No, he fucking dies like in the next mission. And then you think, oh, Sam B, they brought him back. Oh, he's gonna play a big role. No, he basically tells you, don't trust the science people, they're evil. And obviously he's right, because the science people are evil and they lied to you. And then Sam B, for some reason, even though he's immune, starts dying to his immunity. So at the end of the game, when you get the cure that can turn you back human, I don't know why you'd want to be, because now you're basically fucking superhuman and can rip through people with your bare hands and survive crossbow bolts to the chest and getting your face crushed in by a 4'5" black chick with a crossbow. Like, I don't know why you'd want to be human again. So, but then you like make this hard sacrifice to give the thing to Sam B, but no, you don't. It's like the game doesn't even give you a moral choice. Like, oh, the virus, it might kill you as well, the same way it's killing Sam B. Do you save yourself? Do you save Sam B? No, you literally like instantly like, all right, Sam B, I got the only existing vial of the cure on me. I'm gonna give it to you. And then you about, of course, your character's a retard and is about to give it to Sam B wrong. But then the fucking, I don't know, the actress lady, I still don't know her fucking name. It's probably like in the subtitles, it says her name there when she talks, but I don't pay attention. I literally fucking start dozing off when this bitch talks, bro. Like, I start thinking about fucking, I don't know, bro. I start thinking of what's some shit that's more interesting than this. Fucking The Color Beige, bro, is more interesting than this fucking story. It's so shit. The dialogue is boring. None of it fucking mattered at all. The story could have been removed from this game. It should have been like, hey, you infected, go kill some shit, bro. And then that would have been a better story. This shit was just absolutely fucking retarded. And of course, these people, even though this game has been in development for what, 10 years, didn't have a fucking actual ending to the story. So what happens? The only cure to humanity runs off into the wilderness, never to be found again. And then what do? You choose to stay behind and go track it out. And then the cult people look at you from the roof being like, yeah, We're gonna make him into one of us. Let's see what he does. And then the game fucking ends. So now you have to buy the DLC to see the end of a fucking story that you will skip the dialogue to because it is fucking draining the soul from your body. Yeah, so that's about all. I gotta also, on another note of the story, the actual like interactions in the world with the random strangers, the side quests, and the in-game mini cutscenes where you just talk to an NPC while he tells you what to do for the quest. I swear, these people, these fucking scriptwriters, they sat down on a chair and they binge watched the entirety of the Saints Row. They like the brand new Saints Row. They watched a Let's Play, the whole game, and they were like, "Oh my god, holy shit, that was the most beautiful thing I've seen." And then tears start dropping from their eyes and like, write that down, write everything down. The fucking amount of cringe and shit dialogue you experience in this game. There was like literally one fucking joke in this entire game that made me laugh, and it was when a character was not fucking speaking, but when I randomly looked at something and read it. Yeah, here's the clip. Here's another one of these bastards. Sunset bastard. We will get you to your final destination, bruh. That was the only fucking thing in the game that made me fucking laugh. The dialogue was horrific. It was so bad. You probably, the story's so shit, you probably think it was done like 5 months before the game released. But no, I think they were writing the story since like when they started this game 10 years ago, because there's literally a fucking Terminator reference when they say get to the chopper. So this game has fucking cringe dialogue from 10 years ago, but then it also has fucking cringe dialogue from like 3 weeks ago, because when you run into this random fucking dude who like needs your help to like get some data from computers or some shit, he says some fucking, hold on, this shit's horrific. I need to gargle my mouth before I say this. He's like, yeah, bro, no shit, bro. Knowledge is capped. That shit is fucking key. The writers, they told someone, they paid someone to voice act and say the word cap. They paid someone to say that shit. What the fuck, man? People got paid for this dialogue. This was money that could have went into map design, enemy design. But no. What did we get? We got fucking Sam B with his hair back. That's what we fucking got. And by the way, I actually like Sam B from the first game. His dialogue was pretty fucking cringe because they wrote him as the generic black rapper guy who's like a pimp and shit. But it worked. It was bad, but in a good way. It was funny. I love Sam B in the first game. Like, look at this clip of Sam B from the first game.
Hey, shorty.
Fucking comedy gold. That shit had me pissing my pants. That was my favorite moment in the entirety of Dead Island 1, bro. That shit lives rent-free in my head. It's not even that funny, but I love it so much. It's amazing. When I saw it for the first time, I had to take off my headset, bro. It was just that good. But now listen to the shit Sam B says now in this game.
And I'm Sam B. Voodoo, bitch. Bitch.
Yeah. I really don't like Sam B in this game. I'm actually racist now. This shit is horrific. No, what were the writers thinking? Alright? Fuck this story. Literally, when you're playing this game, play it with your friends, right? And when the cutscenes start, take off your headset, go onto Instagram for like a minute or two, and then when you see the cutscenes ended or you hear a zombie beating your ass out of your headset, then put your headset back on and carry on playing. Because my god, this story, no, please tell me this was less than 1% of the game's budget went into the story. If I found out these like fucking voice actors got paid more than like $3 for their work, I'm gonna fucking kill myself, bro. This shit was horrific. It was so bad. It was so bad. Oh my god.
White better get out of sight. Voodoo, bitch. Let's go. Sam B to Papa Shango, I'm bearing some 80. Handful of fingertips.
Alright, now to the actual like best part about this game, the gore system. I'm convinced this is where all them hellhole years of development went into. The gore system is really what carries this game. It carries everything. It carries the mid combat, the horrific story, the shit location, and the lack of enemy type. The gore system is so good and detailed. It's actually amazing. Like you'll be if you be hitting a zombie in the head with like a blunt weapon like a hammer, it'll actually like crack their skull or knock off their jaw and it'll just be hanging there. Or if you hit them in like the arm or the leg, you'll see the bone break out of their leg and they'll fall down or their arm get mangled. And then if you use like a sharp weapon like a machete, you can and then you hack at their arm and you'll see it get eviscerated and eventually fall off. And if you hack at their stomach, you can cut it open and actually see the intestines fall out with like real physics. Or if you like shoot a zombie in the head with a gun, it'll like make holes until, but if you use like a shotgun, it'll just blow the head into red mist. You throw a grenade, like an impact grenade or a pipe bomb at a zombie. When it blows up the zombie, it won't just turn into red mist. It'll just get all mangled and you'll see like bits of pieces like fall off its shoulder and face, like the shrapnel blast messed it up. If you use like certain mods on your weapon, like the caustic mod, it will melt the skin off the zombies and like you'll see like their flesh like all bubbly and gross. And then if you use like fire, you'll see the zombies like burn and then they all their clothes turn off and then all their flesh burns off and they're just like a little husk of a skeleton completely burnt. And then if you use electric, you'll see it zap the shit out of the zombies. Like the gore system was actually phenomenal. It carried this game and it works so well with the special executions, like when you do the perfect block and dodges, where like with like sharp weapons you'll cut off the head, a hammer you'll uppercut the head off, or like a knuckle duster or like the Wolverine claws, you literally just punch a hole through the fucking zombie's head. It was beautiful. I love the gore system. It was so good. This elevated the game. If this game didn't have this gore system and it had just Dying Light's generic fucking gore where if you hit a zombie with the thing, his arm will just come off or you'll cut it direct. If it just had that, it would have been horrible. But the gore system was so fucking nice. It carried this game 100%. But yeah, like kudos to them. The gore system was nice. Like phenomenal. It actually made up for everything else that the game needed to be a game but didn't have.
Toss them up like confetti, stay full of corpse bitches, I'm a pimp of the dead. Come fuck with a zombie, I put a stake in your head. Look, you want ghouls, I got fucking platoon. Maybe everybody dies.
Alright, now to my final thoughts and overall opinion. Now you know what I've said. Story, that shit gave me an aneurysm. I actually have cancer now. It's sad, it probably won't help, and my liver hurts. I think it's leaking probably. There's no hope, pray for me. But weapons, fine. Wanted a little bit more variety. Unique execution animations, pretty good. I wanted a bit more. Enemy type, very lacking. Got boring and repetitive fast. Boss fights, horrendous shit. Map design, passable, but a little stale. Not enough location variance. Amount of enemies, needed more. Gore system, phenomenal. And yeah, so what would I recommend this game? If you have friends to play it with and the money to spare, yeah, it's full price, but like if you play with friends, I'm sure you'll have a blast. And like there are multiple characters, so you could replay with a different character. Just remember to turn off your fucking audio, otherwise your ears might bleed. But yeah, with friends, this game was really fun. Solo, I don't think it would have held up with the amount of shit it was lacking. Like this game, the story, the dialogue had no charm and it got repetitive quick. If you played it solo, I don't think you would have had much fun after like halfway into the story. You probably gotten quite tired and just been playing for the sake of playing. But with friends, it was nice. The side quests were generic Ubisoft side quests. Go here, look for this, fetch quest, generic shit. None of them were really interesting. The only reason we did them was for the unique weapons. We did all of them actually. The only thing we didn't do was all the challenges, but that doesn't really matter that much. But we did all the side quests and lost and founds. They were worthless trash. None of them were interesting or funny, except this one. This one was funny because I made it funny because it made me think of Chainsaw Man. Also, that show was kind of mud, let's be honest.
Hey, what you are? I know what you are.
I know what you are. Chainsaw Man reference. But yeah, final thoughts. What would I rate this game? Originally, I was going to give this game a 5 out of 10, but I played it with a friend, so it was funny. And I think you have to play it with a friend. So that elevated it to a 6. So is that my final answer? 6. That was what I was going to say. But this just hit me. When I was loading on to the game, I just stopped to check my phone for Instagram. And I let the main menu screen play. And oh my god, this absolute fucking banger of a main menu theme is just living in my soul. It's so good. I could just sit here and revel in the sadness of all the story progression I have done for this pathetic piece of shit game while I listen to this absolute magnificent masterpiece of fucking musical creation. So with that saying, the main menu theme has upgraded my review from this game from being 6 out of 10 to solid 9. I recommend Dead Island 2. But if you have no friends, please save your money. You can spend it on alcohol. Thank you for watching.